What's going on, everyone? We're back with another weekly watch list. In this video, I'm just going to be going over all the levels, zones, things that I'm looking out for in the market this upcoming week. And as always, like it says in the title, we'll be going over SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Those are the three main things, the only things that I watch and trade currently. So kicking things off with SPY. All right, obviously we are back at all-time highs, new all-time highs. Friday, obviously the biggest trend day ever. Fucking crazy. So we will see what happens this week. But nonetheless, it's obviously not super surprising, especially if you're a long-term investor like myself. You're going to want to see these indexes go up over time, right? It'd be a problem if they were constantly pulling back or in some downtrend, right? So it's nice to see them at all-time highs. Does make it a little bit trickier to trade, but nonetheless, we will get it done regardless. So first things first, as always, I marked previous day high, previous day low as first support and resistance. So first support is going to be here at this 508.59, up here at this 513.29. However, I do have this zone here. This is our previous all-time high, this 510 area, also a whole psych number as well. So I'm going to be looking at this zone here to see if we have a possible bounce here. As you can see, it was resistance, broke through it, came down, touched the support. So we'll see if this is kind of our pullback area rather than this previous day low first. Below that, I do have 505.35. Below that, 504.75. So if we did come down and say like break this support, I'd want to see it break this area as well before looking to go short down to the next support zone of 503. But I honestly would say like this would be my main support first. You know, if I zoom out a little bit here, like breaking through all of this and seeing my next major support area would be this resistance turn support at 503. And below that, down here at 498.85. So that's going to be my levels and zones here on SPY. So we'll head over to QQQ. Same thing, obviously at all-time highs. Looking for the previous day high, previous day low first, okay? And at 446.58 and 440 area, right? So my first resistance and support. I do have this previous resistance here, the zone I'll be watching here. Why? Because look at how many times it was resistance. Resistance again, and then look, support. So obviously area of confluence that I will be watching here. If we do pull back, you could see maybe a bounce instead of at the previous day low, potentially down here at this 438, potentially sweep this area and move back on up. Below this area, my next support level is going to be here at 435. Below that, 433.71. So again, this is kind of like one whole area here as these zones are so close to each other. I do have this temporary level here as well on QQQ at 431.91. Just because it was pre-market support and it was really strong support. Check out that wick on the hourly here. So again, you know, would be looking for price for a bounce if price does return to this area down here at 431, which of course is a bit of ways away. Okay. Lastly, the mess of IWM. It's been disgusting. Now finally, looks like we're breaking out of the range a little bit, but just check out the daily on here. You know, I went over this in the last watch list. It's just been a gappy, disgusting mess. However, it does seem like we're finally moving in a decent direction. So let's head over to the chart. Previous day high, previous day low. Okay, we saw this reject twice in the last couple sessions, Thursday and Friday. So above 206.39, that we have to go all the way to weekly to see the next resistance, which is going to be here at this 209.50. Right, so last time we saw some heavy resistance here. Above that, I do have 212.79, which also is a 61 fib on the weekly. So from this swing high to this swing low, our 61 fib is right here. So I would expect to see some rejection there. So we'll see. This is a crazy channel right here. I mean, look at this. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. That's fucking crazy. So if we do finally, which honestly wouldn't be surprising with the way the market's been moving, get a break above this level and even break the 61 fib, I mean, there's a decent amount of room up to 226 would be the next resistance up here. And then back to all-time highs here at 244. So IWM is definitely my long-term portfolio as well. It's obviously has looked pretty strong recently. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see these resistances break. But again, we probably see resistance there first. So going back over to the hourly, my next few levels that I have here are going to be at 202.52. Below that, I have 201.85. And then below that, this resistance turn support here at this 201.64. Or I shouldn't say turn support because it is just resistance. We broke above. I could see this potentially retest as support. We'll have to see though. But below that, next major area would be 199.15, right? So that's going to wrap everything up. I'm not looking at any like Fibonacci, anything like that for this week other than what I showed you on IWM. Again, finally making some highs here on IWM, so it would be nice to see what happens up here at this 209. I think we will test that this week. We'll see. Obviously, market's been crazy last week. Last week's price action just was not ideal. The first few days, it really wasn't until Thursday, Friday. There was some good stuff. I did also reset my account. Finally, I've been trading with a very small account, honestly $500 or less, since October. And it's really helped me develop discipline, consistency in my trading, which is my number one goal. I did reset my account to, of course, more than that. Nothing dramatically more, but enough to actually start, I feel like, respecting my money a little bit more. I did find that as one of the things while trading, with the small account. Obviously did help with discipline and consistency and emotion, stuff like that. But I did find that there were some trades I didn't respect my money as much. So I wasn't respecting stop losses as much, and just not respecting the capital as much as I should have. So we are back to a normal, quote unquote, account, I'd say. And again, I will be using 10 to 20% of my account per trade. I did use 10% these last two trading sessions, Thursday and Friday. And then my risk is I'm risking about 1 to 2% of the account per trade. So that's where I'm at right now. And I've been using just 2 contracts per trade, looking to scale the first one at 20 to 25, 30%. And then with the second one, trail stopping it or setting the stop loss on that one to break even. But I'm not losing more than 20% of my position every single time. I have been setting a max. As soon as I enter the trade with those 2 contracts, I immediately set a stop loss at 20%, which does usually line up right around what my risk would be anyways. And if it's not, then I will adjust it a little bit accordingly. But it's usually never more than 20%, obviously, because then what kind of risk to reward trade am I entering if I'm risking more than 20%, right? So when I do set that stop loss, that's just that max stop loss. But it does usually line up right where my risk is, okay? Lastly, on SPX here, I just have been recently marking the previous day high and low, just the red lines here with some other support and resistance like a 5100. Last down here at 5048. So I do have these levels marked down here at 5,000, but I am marking previous day high and low for support and resistance as well when trading SPX. I'm sorry, SPY, QQQ as well. So anyways, so that's going to wrap up this watch list. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've been watching them enjoying them, please consider dropping a like, dropping a comment, subscribing if you want. Again, I do this because it's enjoyable for me. It's fun, helps me learn, stay in tune with the market. So as always, I wish you all the best inside and outside the markets this week, careers, relationships, business, whatever it may be. And of course, your trading. I hope you all smash it. We'll see you all in the next watch list. Thank you for watching.